Hi, friends. I'm Yuvin, and welcome to a brand new explainer right here on Learn Easy with Yuvin. Today, we're doing something super cool. We are blending our favorite values, everyday life skills, and some absolutely amazing future skills. We're going to explore something that sounds like it comes straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually all around us right now. It's called artificial intelligence. We're going to take things nice and slow, so grab a comfy seat and let's go on a fun adventure to learn about the future together.
So, have you ever wondered, how a phone just knows the absolute fastest way to drive to the toy store? Or how a computer can suddenly draw a picture of a giant dragon just 'cause you asked it to? It all comes back to one really big question. What exactly is artificial intelligence? You might hear people call it AI for short. It sounds a little bit like magic, doesn't it? But I promise you, it's not magic at all. It's science, and it's something we can easily understand together.
Okay, let's jump right into part one. What is AI anyway? The basics of machine brains.
So, artificial intelligence. Basically, it means machines or computer programs that can think and learn in a way that looks like human intelligence. Now, I want you to pay really close attention to that word, looks. AI is not a real brain like ours. It doesn't have a heart, and it definitely doesn't have feelings. Instead, it's a very clever computer program that is hunting for patterns. When scientists give an AI a huge amount of information, it searches through all of it to figure out what usually happens next, and then it makes a guess. So it isn't thinking like you and I think. It's just really, really good at finding patterns in the data we give it.
Moving on to part two. AI is like a student. Here's how computers actually learn. Think about how you learned what a cat is. When you were a tiny little baby, your parents probably showed you a few cats in a book, maybe a real cat walking down the street, or a silly cat in a cartoon. After seeing maybe 100 cats, your amazing human brain figured out the pattern. You knew what a cat was forever. But an AI student is not quite that efficient. To teach an AI what a cat looks like, a scientist has to show it thousands or even millions of pictures of cats. The AI has to look at millions of pointy ears and whiskered noses before it finally learns the pattern. But here's the cool part. The AI can look at those millions of pictures super, super fast, much faster than we ever could.
You know how practice makes perfect? Well, AI needs practice too, just like us. If a student says 2 plus 2 is 5, the teacher corrects them, right? The student practices and gets it right the next time. AI works the exact same way. At first, it makes lots of silly errors. It might look at a super fluffy dog and guess it's a cat. But when scientists correct the AI, it uses that new data to get better. It literally never stops practicing, and the more information or data it sees, the better it performs. All right, part three, a calculator for patterns. Let's see what AI is good at and, well, what it's kinda bad at. There's this really great saying I love. It goes, AI is a calculator for patterns. Think about a normal calculator. It's incredibly smart at doing math, right? It can add massive numbers in a single second. But you would never ask a math calculator to draw you a picture or give you a big hug. AI is exactly like that. But instead of just math, it calculates patterns, like patterns in words, patterns in pictures, or even patterns in sounds. Because it's just a pattern calculator, AI can recognize your face on a tablet in the blink of an eye. It can translate a sentence from English to Spanish instantly. It can look at a map and find the fastest route home just by looking at traffic patterns. However, AI is really bad at feelings. Actually, scratch that. It has zero feelings. AI doesn't know why a joke is funny. It just knows the pattern of words that usually makes people laugh. It doesn't feel happy or sad, and it definitely does not understand why you love your favorite teddy bears so much. It can do the pattern stuff for sure, but it absolutely cannot do the feeling stuff.
Okay, this is actually one of my absolute favorite ways to think about it. AI is kind of like a player piano. Have you ever seen one of those? It's a piano that plays beautiful music all by itself. The keys move up and down, and the song sounds amazing. It looks like someone is playing it, but the piano doesn't actually feel the joy of the music. AI is just like that. It might write a really cool story or draw a pretty picture, but there's nobody inside feeling anything.
Let's look at part 4, when AI makes mistakes, and why we really must always check its work. Okay, try to imagine this. What if you ask an AI drawing tool to, say, draw a dog with 6 legs? What do you think happens? Well, the AI knows the pattern for a dog, and it knows dogs have 4 legs. When you ask for 6, it gets super confused. It hasn't practiced that pattern, so it just takes a wild guess. It might draw a totally normal dog and just stick 2 extra legs right on its head or its back. It doesn't actually understand what a dog is. It just knows what the pictures it studied looked like.
So here's the really crucial point you've got to remember. AI guesses. Whenever you see an answer from AI, you have to remember that it's just making a really fast, highly educated guess based on patterns. It's not an all-knowing genius, and that means we must always use our own wonderful human brains to double-check its work. Just like you always check over your math homework before turning it in, you should always check what AI tells you. We call that using our critical thinking skills.
And finally, part 5, AI in the real world. This is where you actually see AI every single day. You know, you might actually be surprised to see all the places AI is hiding right in plain sight. If you've ever asked a smart speaker to set a timer or play a song, you're using a voice assistant powered by AI. When you're in the car and the map changes colors to show traffic, that's AI finding the fastest route. When you finish a video on a screen and it suggests another video you might like, yep, that's AI recognizing the pattern of what you enjoy watching. And today, AI can even help create animated story scripts, putting together fun characters and amazing learning adventures.
It totally seems like magic when a voice assistant talks back to you, right? But really, it's just 3 simple steps of pattern finding. Step 1, listen. The AI turns the sounds of your voice into text. Step 2, understand. It looks at the text, finds the pattern, and decides what you're asking for. And step 3, speak. It uses a text-to-speech pattern to talk right back to you. Listen, understand, speak. Pretty simple, right?
So, as we wrap up our cozy learning time today, I have a little challenge for you. Next time you use a voice assistant or you see a recommended video pop up on your screen, I want you to stop and ask yourself, how did the AI learn that? What pattern did it see? Keep asking questions, keep being super curious, and keep using your beautiful human brain. Thank you so much for exploring this with me. If you loved this explainer on future skills, please subscribe to my channel, Learn Easy with Yuvin, where we always learn, grow, and build amazing values together. See you next time.